Hey guys, it's Topic Bricks here with another video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some expensive LEGO Harry Potter minifigures and basically showing you guys cheaper alternatives and in most cases, superior alternatives. The minifigures that I will be showing you will be expensive, predominantly due to their rarity, but I feel that people can fall into a trap of buying these rare and expensive minifigures because they like the characters, but fail to realise that there are cheaper and better alternatives out there, so that's what we're going to cover today. So first on our list is going to be Pettigrew from 2004, so let's cut to the chase. This minifigure is just absolutely dreadful. Besides the fact that the minifigure is very basic in its torso print, there's no arm printing or leg printing, and not even back printing. The actual colour of the suit is plain wrong, as he actually wears black in the scenes he's featured in the films, not light grey. Also, what's the deal with this face print? I mean, it's just so bad. Oh no. The worst thing about this minifigure is that it cost $25, and this is due to the fact that it was exclusive from a set 17 years ago back in 2004, and that's set number 4756, The Shrieking Shack, which is a set which sells for $500 on the aftermarket these days, so it's no wonder why this Peter Pettigrew figure is so expensive. Thankfully, there is an alternative. In 2020, LEGO released a Rise of Voldemort set which featured a Peter Pettigrew with better printing on the head, torso, and also more accurate clothing in terms of colour. And you know what the best thing about this minifigure is? It will only cost you about $5 to attain. Thank goodness we no longer have to shell out for this guy. Up next we have Mady Moody. This figure was exclusive to the 2005 Hungarian Horntail Tri-Wizard Tournament set. Unlike the Wormtail figure we previously looked at, I actually really like this minifigure. It's fairly detailed and I like the chrome touches to the torso. However, in my opinion, the 2018 version is just slightly better, especially when it comes to the more accurate colours and leg printing. However, I do appreciate that some may prefer to have the Moody with a peg leg rather than not, and I hear you. So what I would do if you wanted a Moody figure is buy the 2018 version that came in the Series 1 Harry Potter CMF series and also buy a peg leg to attach to it. Then you have the best of both worlds. You can buy the peg leg piece from Bricklink for less than $1. Also, the 2018 version of Moody itself only goes for $15, while the 2005 version goes for $40, which means you'll save big by going for the 2018 version. The next minifigure on this list is the 2007 version of Professor Snape, which is exclusive to the 2007 3rd edition of Hogwarts Castle. This minifigure goes for a whopping $60 and isn't even the best looking version. What puts me off about this minifigure is the purple outlines he has on his torso, as well as the peculiar face printing which, I don't know, it just doesn't sit right with me. What I would suggest instead is not buying the modern 2018 or later versions, as I actually think the modern versions of Snape is a downgrade to this version. I just don't think the most modern version is accurate at all. I would instead go ahead and pick up the 2010 version, which is all in black and looks far better than any other version of Snape you've ever had. This figure will cost you about $15 on the aftermarket. Coming up next we have Sirius Black from 2004 that came in both the Sirius Black Escape and the Shrieking Shack set. This figure costs around $25 at the moment, predominantly due to its rarity, and thankfully this figure has gone down in price over the last couple of years as it's simply not worth that price. Though the reason why this minifigure has gone down in price is because LEGO has released a far superior version since 2019. This is based on the same character from the same scene as the previous 2004 minifigure, but is better in pretty much every single way. And you know what the best thing about this minifigure is? It will only cost you about $5 today on sites such as eBay or Bricklink. Next up we have an absolutely crazy minifigure, and that's the 2004 version of Trelawney. So this minifigure may go down as being one of the most inaccurate LEGO Harry Potter minifigures of all time, though that crown may still be held by a glow-in-the-dark Snape, but with this Trelawney figure I have absolutely no idea why they decided to make her bright blue when she wears olive green in the films, and also give her a bright purple hat when she doesn't even wear a hat in the film if I'm not mistaken. Like, what? And you know what the worst thing about this minifigure is? It will cost you in the region of $90 flipping to acquire, which that to me is just crazy. However, I totally get why someone may want to own this minifigure. There's a certain charm to it and it literally does scream OG Harry Potter. It's actually a really cool minifigure despite the fact that it's totally inaccurate, and I do want to own it for myself one day. However, just in case you don't want to spend $90 on a single minifigure, which I totally get by the way, then I'd advise you to pick up the LEGO Harry Potter CMF Series 1 version of Sybil Trelawney for a much lower price of $25. As you can see, it's more accurate in every single way, and it even comes with a printed teacup and saucer combo, which is just fantastic. Up next we have something even more expensive, believe it or not, and this is actually one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive LEGO Harry Potter minifigures of all time, and that's the $100 Professor Umbridge figure. Unique to the 2007 3rd edition Hogwarts Castle set. I have absolutely no idea why this minifigure is $100, none at all, especially considering there is a more common 2018 version of Professor Umbridge with infinitely more detail, including even side leg printing. So if I was in the hunt in the market for an Umbridge figure, I'd pick this highly detailed version up for $15 to $20 and avoid spending the $100 that you would have to spend to get the 2007 version. I still can't figure out why this 2007 version is so special. Maybe it's because of the super rare hairpiece that only came in 2 sets, both of which cost in the region of $1,000 each sealed. I don't know, but all I know is that I wouldn't pay $100 for this. So the next minifigure we have here is the Death Eater minifigure from 2005. This figure costs around $50 on the aftermarket, which is quite a lot for just a Death Eater, plus this version of the Death Eater isn't accurate at all. For some reason the mask is all black, wearing the Goblet of Fire film, which this figure is based off. The mask they wear is in white, but thankfully in 2019 LEGO gave us a new and updated Graveyard Jewel set called The Rise of Voldemort, and in that set came a new and better looking Death Eater with the iconic pointy hat and white mask. You can now pick this figure up in the region of $5 to $10 on Bricklink or eBay. And lastly, for the final minifigure on this list, we have the Garrick Ollivander minifigure, which was exclusive to the 2018 Diagon Alley gift with purchase set. Now this is the mistake I can see people making the most out of any of the figures on this list, and that's because this minifigure looks like the most recent and updated version, and people may assume that this is thus the cheapest and most accessible Ollivander figure to attain. However, it's not. This minifigure is so rare that it will cost a collector in the region of $70 to purchase on the aftermarket, so this minifigure really is for the die-hard collectors only. If you wanted to own an Ollivander minifigure that looks no worse than the 2018 version, and is also just a portion of the price as the 2018 version, then I would pick up the Ollivander figure that came in the 2020 direct-to-consumer Diagon Alley set. This figure is still pretty pricey at $15, as it is still currently exclusive to a $400 LEGO set, but it's a whole lot better than the $70 you'd have to pay in order to get this super rare 2018 version. So that about wraps up this video. If you want to see my concept for the 2022 LEGO Harry Potter Collectible Minifigure Series 3, then click the video on screen now. I've been Topic Bricks and I'll catch you on Friday for another video. Merry Christmas everyone.